Hi everyone. Today we are going to go ahead and we are going to be doing a little bit of animation today. It's a simple animation, but I had done a tutorial back in December, and it was explaining. Let me mute this. It was explaining how to put an animated GIF into an image in Gimp, and I've been getting some questions about people getting all their layers checkered, and I think what's going on is that they are adding the images in the wrong order with the background. I think the background's getting added on top of the image or something. So I just wanted to make another one, and plus I haven't done any animation tutorials in a while. But just to kind of explain this tutorial more and to help out with some people's questions, because I watched it back and I don't feel that I might not have explained everything that well in this video. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. If I could find the part. Anyways, no, I don't want to watch it. There we go. See, it just put it inside of a TV. Alright, let's go back over here to Gimp. If I can find it. There we go. And so today we're just going to do this, and we're going to add this this deer into this window. And it's pretty simple. There's only 12 frames to work with and one image. So we're going to go ahead and go to File and then Open, and we're going to open the background image first, and then we're going to go to File, Open as Layers, and we're going to go and open the GIF just like that. And as you notice, the window is quite a bit larger than this one, so we're just going to go ahead and click on the window layer and press Shift T, and we're going to scale it down to about this one's 660 by 660, so that's fine. Press M on your keyboard to pull up the move tool and just kind of move it and kind of center it. I'm going to hold down Control and use my mouse wheel to zoom in and just kind of center it there. Next, we're going to go ahead and click on the GIF, and we're just going to go ahead and link all these layers. Going to link all these layers, and we're going to click on the top one, and then we're going to just press Shift T to bring up the scale tool, and we're going to scale this. And then in the middle, you could grab it and you can move it and kind of place it back in the middle a little bit and scale it some more, and then move it some more, and scale it a little bit more, move it some more, kind of move it up, kind of center it out. Then we're going to grab this bracket right here, and we're going to pull it down, then grab this bracket and pull it up, and then hit scale and press M on your keyboard for the move tool, and then use the arrows, the left and right and up and down arrows on your keyboard to kind of center that just a little bit more, and then press Shift T on your keyboard again, and we're going to scale it up just a tad, and then move it just a tad. I'm going to also zoom in a little bit, and we're going to move it over just like that. And I'm going to grab this bracket and move that just a little bit, and let's press scale. Let's see what that looks like now. And it don't matter if you go over on this one, so we're going to press Shift T, and we're just going to pull these brackets out on all sides. Just like that, and hit scale. And there we go. That looks good to me. Now go all the way back down and grab this background layer and move it all the way up to the top. Just like that. Right click and add a layer mask. White full opacity is fine. Press add. And let's click on the background, the image itself. Make sure that's highlighted. Let's right click and make sure there's an alpha channel. Okay. Alrighty. Now let's come in here and let's just grab our paintbrush. I got a soft brush, full opacity, and let's just start drawing in here. I'll make sure the color is black. Start drawing in here and revealing the deer. Just like that. And I just wanted to reveal the deer a little bit just to give me, just kind of, I don't know, tell me where it's at pretty much. Now we're going to go ahead and grab our rectangular select tool, and we're going to click right up here in this corner, and we're going to drag out just like that. And I do have feathered edges checked, and it's at 3. And I'm going to just hold down Control and zoom way in here. And I'm just going to go on this image anyways to this kind of, there's 1 groove, 2 on the second groove there. Zoom back out. That side looks fine. I'm using the middle mouse wheel, pressing it down to pan. You could also hold down the space bar and then just move your mouse freely. And let's try that. And with the black color selected, let's go ahead and grab our paint bucket tool. And let's just click in there. Control Z that. And let's make sure that we got fill hole selection selected. And let's click in there. Control Shift A. And I think that looks okay for our purposes now. Let's go ahead and right click on this layer and then go up to apply layer mask and just apply that layer mask. Now let's duplicate this layer 9 times. So when it says 8, copy number 8 up here, that's duplicated 9 times. Then let's grab the bottom background layer and let's just move it all the way down. You can move it all the way down to the bottom of the layer stack. Just move it all the way down to the very bottom, and then let's move it up 1 and let's stick it in between the deer first background layer. And let's go back up here and let's grab the next one and let's go down. And we just want to stick these between each of the layers of the deer layers. And because my screen capture program messes with Gimp, I have to use these up and down arrows here. So, but if it was just you, you could grab the layer and just drag it. That's the easiest way. Let's see what. There we go. So if you could see this layer stack, let me see if I could move this up. So if you see this layer stack, so we got the deer first background layer, the deer. Don't move none of these layers, just leave them all in place. Then these, and since they're all the same image, it don't really matter which order you grab these up here in the upper stack. Just make sure that you place them in between and above. So like this deer layer is on the very bottom, so I placed one in between this deer layer and that deer layer, and the same with this one and this one. So let's go back up here and let's grab another one and move that one above, and then this one just like that. And don't worry about all this excess background and size and stuff like that. We'll take care of that here in just a little bit. And oops, I'm sorry, when it says copy number 9. Alright, and then I just had to duplicate that one real quick. Okay, maybe one more time. Go all the way up there. There we go. Alright, so this is how your layer stack should look. You should have the background deer layer as the very first layer, and then the window. So we could rename this. I'll just go ahead and rename this. So we'll go window 1, and then you got your deer layer, and then you got window 2, and I'll just put W2 now, and then you got a deer layer, and then you got window 3, so W3, and then a deer layer, and then a window 4 layer, and then a deer layer, and then a window 5 layer, and then a deer layer, and then a window 6 layer, and then a deer layer, and then a window 7 layer, then a deer layer, then a window 8 layer, then a deer layer, then a window 9 layer, then a deer layer, and then a window 10 layer, and then a deer layer, and then a window 11 layer, then a deer layer, then a window 12 layer. Just like that. And let's go ahead, and now what we want to do is we just want to go up to the very top one. Well, no, we're going to start at the bottom, sorry. And we're going to go to window 1 layer, and then we're going to right click, and then we're going to merge down. Then window 2 layer, right click, merge down. Then window 3 layer, right click, and merge down. Window 4 layer, right click, and merge down. Window 5 layer, right click and merge down. Window 6 layer, right click and merge down. Window 7 layer, right click and merge down. Window 8 layer, right click and merge down. Window 9 layer, right click and merge down. Window 10 layer, right click and merge down. Window 11 layer, right click and then merge down. And then window 12 layer, right click and merge down. Sorry for all the repetition. But now you should have your image should look like this. And if it don't look like this, and it's got the transparency, which is this checkered looking thing right here, then you had stacked the layer stack wrong. You had mixed the images up somehow, or you had deleted a layer or something of that sort. So all you would need to do is just Control Z that all the way, or go up to one of your panels and right click and choose Add Tab, and then click on Undo History, and then just go all the way up to the rename layer or whatever, your last layer. You will undo all these merge downs, and then you'll want to look through your layer stack and see what happened to that image. And see, sometimes maybe you just might have not added enough copies of the window layer or something like that. And in Gimp, it's kind of weird. I mean, we're messing with frames, and there's animation, so each one of these are layers is a frame. And but it's like if you use Photoshop to make GIFs and stuff like that, they have the animation stack down here, and you still get your layer stack. So it's a lot better. And I do have that Anna something thing installed. It's a filter for animation, but it is very, very complicated to use, and because of the complicationness of it, I don't ever use it. So that's the reason why I haven't made a tutorial on how to use it, because it's pretty complicated. And yeah, so doing it by hand is the way we do it now, or gonna do it now, until they either make a better animation system, or, I hate to say this, you use another program to make your GIFs. But in Gimp, this is how you do it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna grab the crop tool, and we're just gonna go ahead and drag out around the window here, and let's go ahead and zoom in here using my middle mouse button, and then let's just drag these brackets and line everything up. And if you spent more time, please spend more time to get this right or whatever. And just check and make sure that everything's lined up pretty well. Let's hold down, or I'm holding down Control and use my mouse wheel to zoom out. Let's press Enter, and there it cropped it. Zoom in here a little bit. Now if you go up to Filters, Animation, Playback, and then just hit play, and there you go. You got a deer looking in the window. So it's fairly easy, and like I said, I no longer have the images from this last tutorial here, so I would have liked to show that again, but I no longer have those images. I don't even know if I linked them in here. Oops. Nope, I didn't. So, but yeah, you just find you any image, I imagine. Oops, any image, and that's how you go about it. You just need to make sure and pay attention to the way your layers are stacked, and that's pretty much it. Let's see, I'm trying to think. The transparency, the only thing that I could think how people are getting transparency, all their backgrounds are going transparent, is when they go up to filter and they click on animation, and instead of hitting playback, they might have accidentally hit optimize for GIF. So if I go back to the one that we just made and I click on filters, if you see the layer stack, you could see that they're solid. I wish I could zoom in on these, but you could see that these are solid layers. They're not really any that's transparent, really. So if you go up to filters, animation, and then optimize for GIF, now you see that all the layers in the stack are all transparent except for the background image. And that's to make the file size. What they do, or what the program does, is it takes all the colors and it kind of combines them or whatever, and it takes out all the unnecessary extra colors and stuff like that, and it just blends it all in. So that's the reason why these go blank, just like that, because like I said, you might have went up here and it went to click on animation, and you went to click playback and accidentally hit optimize for GIF, and then you look at your layer stack and you're like, whoa, crap, it's it's all transparent and stuff except for this background image. And in most cases, that's what happens, and I'm not too sure about what some of the people were saying happened, but I'm guessing that's what happened, or that I'm guessing that's how their layers had looked. And like I said, the easiest way to fix that is just go to your undo history and undo out of that, or just press Control Z. Control Z. Oh, oops! I got mine set up to make a whole new image. So if you have yours set up like that or whatever, you just exit out of that. But if not, then you'll want to press Control Z, and it'll go ahead and undo that last thing for you. But the optimized GIF is actually a good thing to have done, playback, especially if you're like trying to put it on a forum or a website or something that only allows, like most websites, 2 megabyte files. And some GIFs, if they're complicated animations, they can get pretty big. So just doing the optimize for GIF or whatever, it brings this file size down. And see, as you can tell, nothing happened to it after we did that. So that might be another reason why some people's backgrounds or some people's layers went blank with transparency. And like I said, another reason could be, well, darn. Another reason could be is that in between your frames or something, some frames got deleted, and it left some transparency. It just depends on the GIF, because some GIFs, you know, you're trying to put a animation into a still image, and some of them, like if they get used in Photoshop and stuff like that, they optimize them themselves, and it automatically does this themselves. So some animations already have this real bad transparency in them, and sometimes for animation, when you're doing frame to frame animation like this, that's not what you want, because in Gimp it don't work right. So a lot of the times what I do is I try to bring in a image that don't have full transparency. But see, as you can tell, this image has already been optimized also. But this one did work. But I'm just saying, sometimes they are really optimized, and they just don't work in your layer stack. The colors don't blend and all that kind of stuff, and they get messed up. I don't have an example of that to show you guys, but trust me, it does happen sometimes, and you get really mad because you spend 2 hours putting together this animation, because when you get 200-300 layers that you have to mess with and then duplicate from your image, and then, you know what I'm saying, and then go frame to frame and merge everything down like we do here, then it gets pretty annoying when you get done and you go to your filters and then animation and then playback, and you go to play it and it just looks like crap. So you just have to be careful. That does happen sometimes. So I don't know. So I think I kind of explained a couple of the reasons why I think some people are getting transparencies on their layers. I mean, I'm not totally sure, but in my experiences, those are some of the most cases. You know, if you've been working a long time and you don't have a very big computer screen, and you're over here in this layer stack for an hour, moving around layers and all that kind of stuff, and your eyes get tired, and you're just ready and you're excited to see how it is done and stuff, and then you go up here to filters, animation, and then you're just moving really fast, and you accidentally hit optimize for GIF, and then you're like, oh my god, what happened? Because all your layers are pretty much transparent except for a few colors, and then everything is solid on the very first layer. But in a lot of cases, that's what happens. Or if you're over here, like I said, in the layer stack, and you're working really hard, you've been staring at the same screen for an hour, and your eyes are getting really tired, and they're playing tricks on you, and then you go and you're going real fast, and you're going to merge down, which I wish, I'm going to figure out if we can move this in some way. But I mean, move it down the stack somewhere where it's not right by delete layer, because I do this all the time. I get to moving really fast and hitting merge down, merge down, merge down, you know, just going through hitting boom, merge down, and then coming to the next one real fast, merge down, and then come to the next one real fast, then merge down, and then I'm like, cool, and then I go up to filters, animation, playback, and play through my animation, and it's like, oh crap, what did I do? It's all screwed up. And then you have to go through your undo history and see, and then if you see, you'll find that you accidentally hit a delete layer somewheres, and it'll say remove layer. So I just removed that layer. Now if we go to animation playback, it probably won't look right. Oh well, it didn't make too much of a difference with that one. But on some GIFs, it makes a real big difference, and you'll get popping in your animation, and it just looks really, really bad. So that could be, in some cases, that could be the reason why you get some transparent layers. Or another reason would be that file open as layers. And another reason could be that that, you know, when you're duplicating stuff, you accidentally put your image in the wrong order, just like that. And as you see, I'm going to zoom in here. As you can see, the more I move this layer up, the more the GIF itself is starting to get taken away. And that's the reason why I was saying that sometimes you get really screwed up animations, because the GIF itself has been optimized and it's mostly transparent, and as you can see, it just takes bits and pieces of the images away and stuff, and then it'll add it all down into the main one. But as you can tell, when I move this image up, it gets worse and worse and worse. So if you're going really fast and moving your layers in between layers really fast, you know, frame by frame and stuff, sometimes you could accidentally place these in the wrong order and not notice it, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you're sitting here staring at a screen, and if you have a super huge animation, if you're making a banner or something like that, and you're over here playing with 350 layers, it gets hard to notice it sometimes, because your eyes are getting tired. So you misplaced it, and then you hit merge down, and it got merged down in the wrong order. So that is another case to where you could get some transparency in the image, and then you go and play your animation back, and it's all screwed up. You know, you get some weird looking thing like that. And so you just have to go through and go through your layers, your undo history panel, and most of the time you will find that, and if you just click on it, as you see, it goes through all the animations. And just if you click on the base image, then that means that it's just going to go back to your base image, to your very first image that you added. So be careful with that. You can go to edit and then redo, but in some cases that didn't matter if I hit redo. So just be careful with what you're doing. My advice to everybody is, if you're making a huge, super huge banner that's got a lot of layers, like, you know, you got your own website, and so you don't have a cap on it, how many megabytes you could upload, because, you know, it's your website, you're paying for the server space and all that stuff. So you could add however big of a file size of an image you'd like. So sometimes they get really, really huge, 450 layers, and like I said, it really, really sucks when you have to go through here and do this one by one by one. That's why I wish they would have the layers and then some kind of animation frame by frame stack. Simplicity. I do know a little bit of coding and stuff, but it's for making websites and stuff. I don't know nothing about Gimp, Python, and and all that stuff. So if I was a coder, as long as I've been using Gimp, I probably would have made something by now. But unfortunately, I don't know how to. But hopefully somebody does, and hopefully they make it in the future. But if some people, they complain, I hear them complain that Gimp moves so slow. But if you watch any of my tutorials, I know some of them aren't super great because sometimes I've been working for 12, 13 hours and I'm super tired, and I know I shouldn't make tutorials like that, but I do work a full-time job, so sometimes I don't have a choice. So and I want to get some stuff. I have ideas and I love this kind of stuff. So but anyways, I in my personal projects, I make some pretty nice stuff with Gimp, and it does the same thing that I can make with in Photoshop. You just got to go about it in a different way in Gimp. And Gimp does move a little bit slower, well, quite a bit slower than Photoshop concerning the upgrades and stuff like that. But you got to think it's a free program, and the guys that keep up Gimp and stuff like that, they're not making no money. The only money they make is by donations and stuff from people. And there's a lot of people that complain about Gimp because it's not I don't want to say it's not like Photoshop. You just go about things in a different way in Gimp. So, you know, if you don't have no money, of course, everybody knows money makes the world go round. If you don't have no money, you can't get nothing done, because them programmers, they got families and everything else like that, so they got to work day jobs too, and that just puts Gimp in a side project. If they had the funds, they wouldn't have to work a full-time job. They could work full-time on Gimp, and then the upgrades will come. But like I said, everybody's got this wrong image of Gimp in their head, and they think it's hard because you got to go about it in a different way in Gimp than you do in Photoshop. And I will admit, some things are a little bit harder to do, but you just got to sit down and think in your mind, how can I do this? And the biggest thing is know your program. So hopefully that's the reason why you're watching the tutorials, and you're learning from me. So, and I hope you learned a little bit from me today. And like I said, sorry for rambling. I just wanted to get that out there, and I just wanted to kind of explain to you guys a little bit more, because I feel the last one that I made was a little short on the explanation and stuff like that. So there's a few reasons why I think you could get all transparency or transparency in some of your images, and a lot of it is because maybe you're just going too fast and you didn't notice that you accidentally hit the wrong thing, or when you're going to animation or something like that in playback. But and a lot of it has to do with your image choice too, so just be careful with that. And then, like I said, just pull up your undo history and just go through it and see. It records what you've done, and just see what look at it and see maybe if you see where you deleted something or something went wrong, or just hit Control Z. You know what I'm saying? And just try to play with it that way. So I hope I've explained this a little bit more. Sorry for rambling a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed this what would you call this? A review, not a review. I don't know, a re-tutorial. That's what I'm going to call it. A re-tutorial on a tutorial that I've already done, and I hope I've explained it a little bit more. Please like and subscribe, and there will be tons more tutorials to come. Have a great day. Wait, I am back. I apologize. I also wanted to, because I had a couple questions about how to save it out. You could go up to File, and then see, mine's a little bit different, but if you follow my tutorials, you'll see there's a tutorial on there showing you what all plugins I got installed here, and there's one where it installed a bunch of plugins, and it changed some of the things here on how I export stuff and save things out. So I think on a normal one, I think you would have I think it's just an export. It don't have export as or nothing like that. It's just export. And you want to click export, or I'll click export as, and you just want to name it, and then you hit GIF. And like I said, yours probably says, if you don't have the same filters installed as me, yours will probably say just export, and you'll want to click export, not export as, because it won't be there. It'll be export, and then you just click that, and then you just want to type in the file abbreviation, which is GIF, and then you want to hit the export, and then it'll bring this up, and then you want to put as animation. And if you want yours to replay over and over again, you want loop forever, and then you'll just hit export and give it a second, and it will go ahead and export your GIF, and you'll have your GIF. Let's see if I can find it real quick for you. Let's see, we got, actually I don't even know where that's saved out at. Desktop. Wow. Oops. Pictures. Yeah, I do apologize. I don't know where I saved that out at. Is it this one? Oh, there it is. And then there you go. You have your exported GIF and everything else like that. So, like I said, please like and subscribe, and I hope this helped. Have a great day.